G'day punters, welcome to round 3 of the drop punt. Here with Marzi as per usual. Interesting week last week. We had one of my best bets go through, a few mixed bag of results. The Tigers Collingwood game went over the points bet that we had, and the Hawks 1-39 looked home halfway through the final quarter, but the Bulldogs obviously overran them, unfortunately. And the multi was Mars's multi was the victim of some rain, unfortunately. Yeah, we sort of belted down. I mean, Adelaide affecting the point score there between Port Adelaide and Carlton, and Stephen Cornelio had a bit of a down match against the West Coast Eagles. But we're back here for round 3. We're gonna hopefully have some winners for you this week, and it all kicks off tonight. Thursday night football at Adelaide Oval at 7:50 p.m. First bounce between Adelaide and Geelong. The Crows outsiders now $2.05, and the Cats have been very well backed into $1.80, and the line for that game is 2.5 each way. So bookies expecting a close game between these two teams. Cats are 2-0. Crows come off a win last week. They're now 1-1. Come back home. I mean, the game that they played wasn't all too great. No. Adelaide, I mean, they did get over the line against Sydney, but Sydney are sort of struggling at the moment. But Cats have been good.
Yeah, they've been impressive. No hiccups, no nothing.
No, belted Melbourne last week.
Gone through the gears nice.
Interesting betting market early. Geelong have been very, very well backed on the exchange and throughout corporate. So sort of opened up about $2.10 during the week, and have firmed significantly to be backed into favourites. Close game. I'm tipping the Cats to go 1-39, sticking with that margin bet as I did last week, which unfortunately didn't come through. But I think the Cats, if they are going to win, they won't blow the Crows away. No. I think it'll be a close game. Mars, you got a bet in this game as well?
Yeah, I've got a bet in this game. The over markets. Total points over 168.5. Last couple of times we've played each other, it's gone to like 200 points. Nice. So I think that could be a bet for the game, and I think probably Geelong will win. A couple goals.
Interesting game. Again, bookies think it's going to be quite a close one, but I'm in Geelong's camp, and Mars reckons the game will go over the points. Moving on to the Battle of the Cellar Dwellers. I don't think many were thinking this at the start of the year. Melbourne versus Essendon, Friday night lights at the G, 7:50 p.m. first bounce, and the Demons are $1.46 with the tab. Bombers $2.80, and the line at the moment is 14.5. Not the greatest of games to bet into. I didn't really have an opinion on the match. The Demons have gone into the season underdone. A lot of players having post-season surgery last year, and just they haven't really come back as good as in as good a form as they were in 2018. The Bombers are, what do you say about them?
Shadow of themselves for the last couple of weeks of the year.
They're shocking. They're playing some terrible football at the moment. So it's sort of picking the lesser of two evils. Coming into this game, I think not really a bet for me. I'd had Melbourne maybe $1.70. They sort of look under the odds to me, but I mean, you can't. How could you back both teams? No. You can't back any of these teams with confidence at the moment. Essendon have got sort of problems off field. The rumours that are going around, and the Demons are probably going to go into the game underdone, and they lose May again with a groin. So not the greatest of situations for either team. No bet for me. Nothing interests me in this game.
I got no bet, but I reckon I'm going to go for an upset and just say Essendon.
If you're going to play.
But I wouldn't have a bet. Media teams. See you later.
Okay, so let's move on from this shocker of a game. Onto Saturday football, Saturday afternoon football. The first game on Saturday is between Carlton and Sydney at 1:45 p.m. at Marvel Stadium in Docklands. The Blues are outsiders, $2.70. The Swans $1.50, and the line for this game is 12.5. Both teams winless. The Swans haven't had the greatest of starts to the year. Carlton going down as well in their first two games to Richmond and Port Adelaide last week. They were in the game at three-quarter time last week, but just sort of petered out towards the end of the game, unfortunately. And the Swans look like they're just struggling to go at the moment. They haven't really, aside from maybe that burst in the last quarter against the Bulldogs, they haven't really enamoured. You know, I think Buddy had a few moments last week.
Looked like he was going to turn the game on
but the Swans $1.50 under the odds. I think Blues look like their value. Tough game to tip. I actually think Carlton go into the game with a bit better form. They played Port Adelaide last week, who are playing some good football at the moment. Again, it's a tough game to tip. I think the market's sort of about right. I'd maybe have Carlton a little bit shorter, maybe $2.30, $2.40. And obviously there's the injury cloud. I mean, Buddy obviously going into the year with no pre-season. Yeah, he struggled to get up to fitness in the pre-season. No bet for me in this game. I'm letting this one go through. But if you were going to have a play, I would suggest leaning the way of Carlton if you wanted to play some exotics, some multis or whatever. I think the Blues are a bit over the odds, but nothing that really enamors me to open the shoulders with. Mars, what do you got? You got something here?
Yeah, throw to the multi. Carlton 1-24 in the margin markets, $3.80. I think if we're gonna win, it wouldn't be by anything more than a few goals.
Yeah,
so,
that's fair enough. No, that's what the punters want to hear. They want to hear what the value. What odds is that, by the way?
3.80.
Okay, right. So we're sort of in the camp of the Blues there. Both sides obviously need a win. On to the next game, a very interesting game for both teams in the complexity of the season, I think. Giants, the GWS Giants versus Richmond, Saturday twilight game, 4:35 p.m. at Spotless Stadium. The Giants are favourites, $1.60, Tigers $2.40, and the line is 7.5. The Tigers have a plethora of injuries at the moment. Unfortunately for them, Grimes has been suspended as well. They have no Rance, who's out for the rest of the year, obviously with the ACL. Hooley will more than likely miss. Rewalt out with the wrist as well as a knee.
Yeah,
Grig's still out. Caddy, I don't think will look like he'll be playing, although Tigers do believe he's close. So a lot of outs for the Tigers, and the Giants look like they're going to get back Josh Kelly as well, and the news around town is that he's about to sign a new deal with the Giants, so he'd be looking to have a good game as well from his own hip pocket point of view. I had the Giants winning this comfortably. I think I think both teams are quite even from a list point of view, but I just think the setup for the Giants looks a little bit better. I know they are coming off that loss last week against West Coast, but West Coast first game at home, they had a few good players come back into the side as well. And the Giants, they'll get back Kelly. Mumford looks like he might come back as well to do some ruck duties too. He's sort of a 50-50 at the moment for the Giants, but I think them at the line, 7.5 if you can get $1.90. That's good shopping, I think, and they're going to be my second best bet of the round. Mars, what have you got here?
Giants quite easily, and Morals again.
Morals?
Yeah, at home.
Cleared it.
At home.
Yep, at Spotless Stadium.
Yeah, won't get beaten.
Yep.
They've got probably arguably the best backman out in the game at the moment, Rance.
Yeah, tough.
Very well.
Tough for them.
So I think the Giants in the try bet, which is over 16 points, so 16 plus, change the bet from the line.
Okay, so 16 plus, you reckon? Okay,
yeah,
nice.
I think they'll belt them, so
Okay.
So we'll take the Giants over 16 points, or it's 15.5 with other bookies. Mm-hmm. So that's $2.20.
Nice. Okay. Next game, we move along. Another interstate game between the Lions and Brisbane versus Port Adelaide. At the Gabba, 7:25 p.m. The Lions are $1.62, Port Adelaide $2.35. Both teams are 2-0 at the moment, going into the game with some good form. The Lions come in off a win against North Melbourne, and the Power go in with the win over the Blues, who were a plucky outfit last week against them. I thought Port Adelaide initially. I thought they were over the odds at $2.35. The Power have had the wood over the Lions for the last couple of years as well, and even up at the Gabba too. And I think they did start $1.09. I think Port Adelaide last time they played against Brisbane, albeit it was at Adelaide Oval. It was in Adelaide there, but I think Port Adelaide look to be over the odds. Lions definitely up and coming. They're going.
They're going very well,
and I think they do deserve to be favourites given their given how well they play at home. Yeah, they did beat last year's premiers in the first game of the year. But I think Port Adelaide might be the way to go there. No bet for me in the game. I'm not touching that unless Port Adelaide get out to over $2.50 if you can find that somewhere. It might peak the interest, but nothing for me in this game. You got something?
Yeah, I've got. I think Port will win. I think they just have enough class to beat Brisbane up at the Gabba. When's the last time Brisbane have won 3 in a row? Not too sure.
God knows.
To start off the season,
Can't remember.
Premiership years.
God, it's been a long time for them. Yeah.
So I think Port Adelaide
just straight out win.
Yeah, straight win.
So head to
straight
head.
Win, yeah.
So head to head for Marcy there. You get $2.35. You might get a bit more in the exchange as well if you look to bet up on there. Next game is the grand final replay from last year between Collingwood and West Coast. Saturday at the MCG, 7:25 is the first bounce, and the Pies $1.45 favourites. The Eagles $2.75. This game is going to be a cracker. The line is set at 15.5. Interesting game this. The Eagles now go into the game with some good form after a disappointing round 1 loss. They came out last week and obviously pummeled the Giants by over 50 points. I think it was something. 8 to 9 goals. Collingwood come off a comprehensive win against Richmond as well. Interesting game. Tough game to pick, I think. I think the Pies go in with the superior form. But
what was the odds last year in the grand final? I know it's a grand final.
Collingwood went in $1.60, $1.70 favourites, something like that. It was around that. Yeah, around that. Tough game to pick. I'd maybe just from a betting, just from my own markets, I maybe would have marked Collingwood $1.60 and maybe had West Coast closer to the $2.45, $2.40 mark. But if it's again, like I said, tough game to pick. I think both teams are proven finals contenders the last few years as well. Obviously, West Coast got the chocolates in the granny last year, but like you said, like you mentioned, Collingwood did start favourites in the grand final. So tough to pick. If I had to go, I'd pick Collingwood if I was doing tips. But from a punting point of view, I can't get involved in the game.
Don't really have anything here, but maybe from the goals markets, maybe Mason Cox this week to get 3 or more, something like that.
Mason Cox 3 or more.
He hasn't done anything the first couple rounds.
I can't get it. I know he plays in form to bet into that. I can't bet on a win. It's like races, fillies and mares. Don't try and bet them into form. Wait until they actually show something. I think it's just a watch game. Just let this run through.
Just watch the goalie go around.
Definitely.
Do the magic.
Next game, Western Bulldogs versus the Gold Coast. This kicks off Sunday afternoon football, 2:20 at Marvel Stadium. Bulldogs go into the game 5s on $1.20, and the Suns $4.80 with the line set at 5 goals at 29.5. I think the Bulldogs are under the odds, but you can't back the Suns with any real confidence. Their win last week was pretty gritty against Fremantle, but not a game I'm looking to really get involved in. I think if anything, maybe the line. But what do you think? What's your take?
I think Gold Coast at the line's good. It's a nice line. I don't think the Bulldogs will belt them. I think they showed a bit the Suns last week.
They did.
To turn
performance.
Freo from 150 points into, what did they score last week, for around the 50 mark?
Something, it was around 70 to 60, something like that. Yeah,
pretty good defensive performance. So maybe they'll get a bit of confidence after that game. So we'll take the line in that game.
So the line 29.5. Yeah, good.
Plus,
I think that's a reasonable proposition.
Yeah.
I think that's a reasonable bet. And the Gold Coast seem to play Marvel. They play Docklands okay.
Yeah, they play all right.
From memory, I think. Yeah. They go. Both teams go into the game off good wins from their own point of view.
Yeah.
Not that there's ever a bad win, but yeah, interesting. Like I said, I thought the Bulldogs were under the odds in the initial market. I might have had them maybe $1.33 around that sort of price, and maybe Gold Coast $3.30, $3.40, something like that. But yeah, no, nothing from me there. If anything, maybe if you're sort of like a goal, most goals or first goal punter, maybe something on Alex Sexton.
Yeah.
He's in ripping form. Kicked 4 or 5 goals last week against Freo.
And 3 in the first week.
Yes. Yeah. So he looks like he could be a bet in one of maybe those goal markets, but nothing that I'd get too involved in. Maybe a peanut here or there, but yeah, nothing I'd open the shoulders with as well. Next game, both teams here come off disappointing losses last week. Hawthorn and North Melbourne. This one set for 3:20 Sunday at the MCG. Hawthorn $1.44, North Melbourne $2.90. The line set at 15.5. North Melbourne, they're obviously 0-2. Hawthorn are 1-1. Hawthorn maybe going into the game with a superior form line, I'd say. They were in front by 5 goals at 3/4 time against Western Bulldogs and were just completely overrun. And North as well had a bit of an arm wrestle with the Lions.
Up by 20-something points.
Yeah, North had a bit of an arm wrestle with the Lions and weren't able to get over the line either. So, it's a must-win for North Melbourne if they, if they want to really get some confidence going into the year. But not a game I'm overly keen to get involved in. I don't think. I don't like backing teams or going into games where both teams. Yeah, and they haven't, and they come off crappy losses.
Yeah, both
shitty losses for like shitty losses they were. I think. Yeah, I can't get involved in this game. I think at the G, I think Hawthorn are the team, but leave me out of this.
Well, they got Burgoyne out and Shield out.
Burgoyne and Shield out. Yeah, I think Hawthorn will poison at $1.44, but you can't really back North with any confidence either. When you're outlaying money, you want to be playing with confidence, especially when you're betting into small margins like football as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing for me in this game. And the last game, which I think we'll gloss over very quickly, 5:20 p.m. at Optus Stadium on the Sunday. It's the last game of the round. The Dockers versus the Saints. Fremantle versus St Kilda. Dockers $1.42, Saints are $3, and the line is 16.5 here. Anything from you on this game, Mars?
Nah, just
nothing here.
Turn it off after the North Melbourne.
Yeah. Unless obviously you're at Dockers or Freo.
Yeah, could be a cracker though.
Dockers or Saints fan, sorry.
Yeah. But no bet for me.
Nothing for me either.
I think.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do for us.
Yeah.
And just to reiterate, to recap the bets. So for me, it's Geelong 1-39 at $2.30, and Giants at the line of -7.5 at around the $1.85, $1.90 quote. And Mars, your multi, what have you got?
We've got the Adelaide Geelong game tonight over 168.5 points. We've got Carlton by 1-24.
Yep.
Then we've got GWS by over 15.5. Then we've got the Port Adelaide head-to-head. And Gold Coast at the line. That should fetch you something around $70 combined odds.
Yep. So have a little Peter McKenna on that. Have a tenner. Maybe, we don't want to go all out with these long odds. So
just
that'd be nice.
$20.
That'd be great. So what was it? What odds was that? About 70. Yeah. So you get
in that area.
70 to 1, something like that.
Yeah.
Nice. So if you've got any questions, fire away on the Facebook comments and YouTube comments. Make sure you like on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube and like on YouTube as well.
Twitter as well.
Twitter too. We've got the Punt account on Twitter as well, and we might even try and work in just some audio, like an audio version of what we do here as well.
Some iTunes.
Yeah. But that's all for sort of later dates. So find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Like, subscribe. If you've got any questions, fire them in, and we'll do our best to answer them. If you've got any questions for the show next week as well, fire away too, and we'll give you a shout out on the show, and we'll look to answer the question as best as we can. That's it for this week. Good luck with your bets. Hopefully we can bounce back and get 100% strike rate for this week. That'd be nice. But we know that's not how the caper works. No. But yeah, we're in it for the long haul. Again, hopefully your bets all come through, and we'll see you next week, punters. Cheers. Easy. Done.